This is a JCB or a digger. JCB, digger. This is a loader. This is a loader, sometimes referred to as a Volvo because most of them are made by Volvo, a loader. These are all dumpers. Dumper. This is a big mining dumper and the small ones are the ones that you find on a building site. This is a dumper. Dumper. This is a roller used for road construction, a roller. On the left, this is what's known as a Kango hammer used to break up concrete. It's a Kango. And on the right hand side you see a saw for cutting concrete that's known as a consaw. Note that the person using the consaw has safety boots on, gloves, and you can't see, but you'd expect they have goggles as well, and a hard hat. These are various tools. So across the top you have a tape measure or a measure, pencil, a string line which might be used to create a line so that you can line blocks or bricks, and a hammer. This hammer is sometimes called a claw hammer because one end of it is used to pull out nails. It's a claw hammer. Under the claw hammer you have a shovel, and you have a step ladder, and you have a level. The yellow one is a level or a spirit level, and the one in the bottom left corner is a clamp. That's not so obvious. Again, if I start on the top left hand side, you have a saw, or sometimes referred to as a hand saw. After that you have a battery drill, or referred to as a cordless drill. On the bottom left hand side you have what's called a caulking gun, or it's more often called a silicone gun. Next to that, with the orange handles, you have a rivet gun. A rivet is used to put rivets, normally in light sheeting. The next is a snips, the one with the yellow handles. It's normally used for cutting light sheets of steel or aluminum. And on the bottom right is a jigsaw. This is used for making intricate cuttings. It has a very small blade. It's a very small blade. These are a collection of tools, including kind of from the top left, a hammer, a coal chisel, a yellow helmet, a square for lining out blocks or bricks. That's the blue square. Then you have a tape measure. That's a big long tape measure that rolls up into a box. You have a level, the yellow level or the spirit level. Underneath the measuring tape you have a wheelbarrow, and then all these small tools are for dealing with putting down cement mostly. So they're generally called trowels. There are different types of trowel. And the wooden one under the wheelbarrow is a float. And the big tool across the most of the picture is known as a pick or a pickaxe, and it's used for if you're digging a trench to dig out ground that is too difficult to dig with a spade or a shovel. It's referred to as a pick. Here you have two devices that are used for putting down footpaths and dealing with concrete. On the left hand side you have a machine that's referred to as a float or a power float, and on the right hand side you have a tramping machine that's used for compressing sand or gravel, and is often called a whacker plate. That's a whacker plate. And on the left you have a power float. Again, this is a collection of tools. In the middle you have your Kango hammer. On the left you have a wheelbarrow, and underneath that a cordless drill. On the top right you have a saw or a circular saw, and in the bottom you have an angle grinder. We spoke recently about the hazards of working in a trench, and these are devices to make a trench safer. They hold the trench apart while somebody's working in it. We did quite an amount of discussion on this. This is formwork that holds or shuttering that provides a place to pour the concrete. So it's called formwork or shuttering. You can see the man that's working has his PPE, he has his helmet on and his gloves, his boots. You can see that he has a scaffold so that he doesn't fall off. And the other guy helping him with the red helmet has as well. So this construction to pour concrete is referred to as shuttering or formwork. On the left, you can see a guy who's putting down blocks. These are made from concrete. On the right hand side, you can see a guy putting down bricks. Sometimes these are fired in an oven rather than being made from an aggregate like concrete. You can see on the left hand side, the blocks have holes in the middle of them, or cavities. So these blocks are sometimes referred to as cavity blocks, because they have a hole in the middle of them. And on the right hand side, you see the man putting down bricks. And here you have a combination. You can see that somebody is putting down a stone wall, but first of all, they're putting down a block wall. And when the block wall is finished, then they're facing it with stone.